Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to the Sunday Wind Down Show. Hi, guys.
My name is Ida Alicia.
And I'm DJ Sunny Sistuki.
And yes, welcome to the Sunday Wind Down podcast where we drink wine
or whiskey, talk about real issues.
We learn from each other and we laugh a little. This is episode what, Sunny?
Episode 4 of season 2.
Wow.
Yes.
It's a lot of episodes, guys. We've been consistent in this thing, eh? Today's episode is going to be very, very special because we're talking about something that we are very passionate about. Passion or paycheck. And we're going to have a very special guest. Just tune in. Share. Tell your friend we're live and, just share. Because this is a conversation that we love to hear from you. Love to hear what you're thinking.
As a matter of fact, we'll give you guys 2 seconds to share and tag all your friends.
Tag, share. You want to play our music again?
Hey, yeah.
Let's do it. Go ahead and tag and share.
Let's tag and share.
We are live
while
people.
We listen to our theme song.
Yep.
Sunday wind down, Ida with the voice on the speaker, Sunny on the mic and it's all round. Conversations are bigger, so fill my cup. I'm already tuned in all the way up. Can't stop listening now. Sunday wind down, yes you know I'm listening. Good vibes in the evening. Yes, you know I'm listening. Sunday wind down. Yes, you know I'm listening. Good vibes in the evening. Yes, you know I'm listening. Yeah, I'm okay when I hear your voices. I'm okay when I hear your voices. Working from Monday to Sunday, 7 o'clock till I'm worn out. Hustle, I can make an anthem. Give me a break, let me walk out. Trying my best to stay sober all over the weekend. I know grass is only greener when you water. So after the grind I go. Sunday wind down. Yes, you know I'm listening. Good vibes in the evening. Yes, you know I'm listening. Yeah, I'm okay when I hear your voices.
So now that we gave you guys enough time to tag and share all your friends, let's get down to business.
Yes, let's get down to business. Sunny, we're talking about passion or paycheck. So during the week, I put up a post on my Instagram, and I believe you did the same.
Yep.
And believe it or not, 68% of the people who voted on that poll said they would rather paycheck. If they were given an option, they would choose paycheck.
What percent?
68
On your poll?
on my poll.
My poll actually had almost a 50-50 mix.
Okay.
I think I had 54% that
Oh.
picked passion and 40-something% picked paycheck. So it was almost 50-50.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I felt some type of way. Because if you were to give me a choice for me to follow my passion, I'ma follow a paycheck, I would probably follow my passion. I mean, unless my passion is my paycheck.
There is that. And it also brings to light a couple of things. There's a lot of obstacles that go into play when you're going to pursue your passion. Mm-hmm. So I think what I learned from those polls, my interpretation of the polls was that I don't think people would necessarily choose paycheck over passion, but the obstacles you face, because people have bills to pay, people have family to support, and sometimes passion doesn't quite do that.
I guess that's a good way to look at it. But me, I'm thinking, if I was given the chance to choose, like
money isn't an option.
Yeah, if money is that's the best way to put it. If money is not an option, would I choose paycheck or would I? But no, I don't think that works because what is a paycheck without money?
Yeah.
But
in that case, I think everyone would probably pick passion.
Right.
I think why people pick paycheck is really because of the money aspect of things.
You're right. But
and I mean, today we have a very special guest.
Yes.
Who's going to tune in virtually.
Yes.
As he social distances. And our guest today, Ida, who is it?
It's fully focused, baby.
It's DJ Fully
DJ
Focused.
Fully Focused. And before we go further, we are wearing these amazing t-shirts that say "Minding My Black-Owned Business." This is by Layla and Annie. You can find, we'll share the information on the comment section.
Yep.
Madam Producer will pin it right there for you guys. These are amazing t-shirts. A small business owned by Kenyans. We're talking about passion or paycheck, and we're going to talk about supporting businesses. So, hey, shout out to you guys. We appreciate you for supporting us, and we'd love to give you all our support as well.
Yep. So, without further ado, I'm going to connect a call to Fully Focus in just a little bit.
Yes.
And we will take it from there.
Awesome. So I know you guys are familiar with Fully Focus. He's one of the people and the brains behind PXP, which is such a big concert. He's a really good DJ, to be completely honest. He's done tours in the US. He's done some in Kenya, and he's
all over the world, I think.
All over the world as well. Yeah.
Yep.
So he says, he does it for the 254, but it's time to go global. The one and only Fully Focus. We are connecting to his call here. You'll be able to see him on your screens. And if you're listening, you're about to listen to the one and only Fully Focus.
Anasemangaje, I'm focused,
I'm focused, man.
So it's interesting. I think nitamuuliza how he got that name, because it kind of ties into the theme of passion versus paycheck.
True.
And I don't know, maybe I'm making an assumption here, but I think he kind of goes along the lines of passion, not so much so paycheck.
Yeah, and that's why we have him here today.
Yes.
Explain. Focus. What it does, baby.
Hold on, let me go ahead and get him through. Oh, hold on just a second. I have a slight technical glitch. All right, there we go. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Absolutely. Yeah, it must be hot in Atlanta drinking that water, huh? Hydrate.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's been scorching, but I've been indoors so long, so I was like, let me actually step out for a second.
It looks nice out there,
Nice,
man. It's
nice.
gloomy over here where we are.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's so gloomy.
Well, here's the compromise. The only bad thing out there is the weather. Out here, we have Corona, we have race riots, we have lawsuits with mayors and governors. Like it's something.
It's
else.
a lot. But we're
Yeah.
so happy to have you on
Yeah.
the show, Forecast. Thank you for making time.
Let
for
me
us.
start out by thanking
Thank you,
you for being here. Absolutely.
Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. So, we're going to start out. Actually, I just mentioned this before we connected the call. Your name, DJ Fully Focus. Tell us a little bit about the name. I'm sure you've talked about it so many times, you're probably tired of hearing that question.
Yeah.
But enlighten our
Yeah.
audience a little bit.
Yeah. So, one thing, like, I've always been somebody who's big on intention, and understanding the power of words, and words become things. So when I was starting out doing this, I was getting into this DJ thing. When I was like, okay, now I'm about to be a brand.
Yeah.
I need to select a name, but I didn't want just a name where I just you just add add the word DJ to my first name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, what name do I need to have that will be a representation of my way of thinking, will be my approach to life, will be more like a mantra. And, I've always been a big, I study successful people and everything. And everybody who kept on saying, oh, if you want to make it, you have to do this. Everybody's like, you have to focus. You have to focus, and you have to fully focus on what you want to do. And I was like, that seems to be the common denominator to anybody who's accomplishing anything, that you have to decide, this is what I want. Forget about these distractions. This is what I'm going for. And that, for me, I was like, that makes sense. Fully focus. Focus on what you want. Put your mind to it, and don't let anything get in your way, and, get it. So,
Yeah, that's
what it
nice.
is.
That's really nice. Me, I just thought tulitafuta jina mbili is gonna FF. Fully focused. But that's really deep, to be honest. I was not expecting such a deep nini. Well, fine.
Yeah. And
Well,
speaking,
and there's going to be a lot more of that.
I know, but you're a very deep person. I follow you on Twitter and all this stuff. And sometimes you post things and I'm like, damn, I like your brains. People like your style and your talent and all these things, but I also like your brain, the way you think. It's very controversial. It's not mainstream thinking.
Yes.
And I
yes.
guess that's why people also identify with us, because we say things people are like, our
Yeah.
culture, we don't say that,
Yeah.
And that's why
Yeah.
we're happy that you're here with us, so we can pick your brain and learn from you a little today.
Thank you. Listen, I'm very, I think that a lot of times we're going with truths that other people set, right? And they're doing it based on their reality at that time. And I think our job is, as we advance, it's like you start learning more and you start challenging the way we go about things and say, okay, is there a different way? But you can't do it based on opinion. It has to be factual. You know what I mean? It has to be factual. And we'll relate that to that tweet you asked me about before. We'll talk about that
We're
later.
gonna go there.
Oh, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there for sure.
But Focus, if you don't mind us asking, how did you start full-time DJing? Like what made you decide, hiya, whatever, I'm not getting employed, I'm doing my own thing and I love DJing, I'm following this passion.
Yeah. So, I was just doing a bunch of odd jobs. Like when I started working when I was like 17, like working at Walmart as a cart pusher. Then I worked at Home Depot as like loading stuff and, helping customers. Then I worked at Waffle House as a chef and everything. Then I worked at this company. I don't even know if it's still there anymore, but I was a security guard. I was a wochi. Okay, I was a wochi, and at this like truck stop and everything where those 18-wheelers come and park and everything. So I was doing a lot of different things, and of course I was doing it to pay bills or to try and get whatever I need to do
for the paycheck.
Exactly to pay, because you do have to live. You do have to. How are you going to pay for your phone? How are you going to, basic things that you need to survive, to buy food and that kind of thing.
Right.
However, I knew this is not going to make sense long term. It's working right now, but this is not the thing that I'm going to do long term. And what happened is I happened to have this curiosity about music and DJing ever since I was like, very, much younger. I didn't know it was a passion then. I just knew it was a curiosity. And it was this thing that kept nagging me and kept coming onto me, that when I would do it, I was just naturally happy, which kind of like what you had, one of the questions that you had asked is, I believe that you don't choose your passions choose you.
There you go again with that deep stuff.
And I can kind of relate that when you were in your music, in your DJing, in your stuff, it just makes you happy. It's therapeutic to me. Like honestly, like if I've had a bad day at work, I'll come turn on my turntables and just go at it, and I'll have a great time.
Exactly. So for instance, I was in California, and I was staying in California like way back then. It's like 2001, and I was working that job while like during the day before I go to work, like I would just play around with turntables and play, and I would just get so much joy. I would go to that job, and as soon as I come back, I would just practice playing on it. There was this joy I cannot explain and fulfillment I was getting. There wasn't an audience. I wasn't getting paid for it, but I just felt like this amount of excitement towards it. And so what happened is, what I did is I spent at least 2 years practicing, learning how to get better at it. And as I got better at it, from 2001 to 2003, I realized that not only was the joy I was getting, like people, when I would see, like now I started doing like little house parties, and I would see the joy people would get, and it fulfilled me so much. I was like, man, I would love to do this more than anything else, at all times. So that's what eventually now I was like, you know what? I'm thinking about going into this and doing it. Now, here's what happened. I was still going to school, and I still had the job. But when I was in school, I could not concentrate. My mind was thinking of the music and the turntables and all that stuff, right? While I was at work, that's all I was thinking about. So I had to have this quiet moment of meditation and prayer to be like, why is this thing pulling me? Why is it pulling me? This doesn't make sense. I don't even know anybody who's in the industry. Okay, and at that time, nobody, especially in the States, was really getting paid significantly for it, right? So I was like, it doesn't make sense for me to be looking at this thing, but it kept pulling me. Right. So finally, again, meditate, prayer, and I said, you know what? I think I want to take, a leap of faith into this. And basically, I quit school and I quit work at the same time to jump into it full time. And the last time I had a job was 2003. This has been my full-time thing since 17 years.
That is insane. That takes some faith, to just quit work and, just say, hey, okay, sawa, passion it is.
Yeah. And you have to realize, like, my mother was a school teacher, and I'm the last one in my family. Everybody's graduated from school and all that stuff. When I told her that I quit school and I quit work to do this DJ full time, and she's cute. She's like, "Keragu Shavaki, like, are you on drugs?" Basically.
Like, you must be. Are you on drugs?
Yeah, and she started casting out demons. But
Oh
basically
my
it was
goodness.
like, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
But I had a conversation with her to let her know that, listen, I was serious about this. I thoroughly thought about it. I meditated on it. I prayed on it, and I believe this is the thing. And for me, I just knew that this has to work. So the one good thing she said is, listen, it's your life. I don't agree with what you're doing,
Yeah.
but you're an adult. It's your life. You can do what you want,
Right.
but you have my blessings or whatever.
That's
So yeah, so
amazing.
I jumped based on, not because I saw somebody else doing something and I was like, oh, that looks cool, let me just do. No, I literally had this tug of war for 2 years where I
Yeah.
was like, I like this thing, but I don't know how to make money. I don't know people in it. Whereas this
Yeah.
thing, it's it makes sense
Yeah. It makes
to
you
make money.
happy. True. True. True.
Actually, I have a question for you, and you've probably touched on it a little bit. But what was there a specific situation or a specific experience that led you to say, okay, this is enough. I've had enough. That's my tipping point. I'm going for this that makes me happy versus this that's just going to sustain me.
Yeah. I think throughout my career, there's never been like one major moment. There's always like little things here and there.
Right.
I just really remember more about that dreadful of, I gotta go to this job again.
Yeah.
Like, that feeling, which a lot of people I know get.
Yeah.
It's like, man, and then once you get to the point where you really are not happy every day when you wake up, when you're going to work, but you feel like,
Yeah.
I have to do this for the paycheck. It is time to reevaluate everything. Okay.
Yes.
It doesn't mean quit that day. Okay. It means start that day to put your plan.
Yep.
That's some deep stuff, man. And
Yeah.
I mean, I hear you. I understand you completely because I know I've been there. I've been at a job where I'm like, when I wake up in the morning, I want to cry. I'm
Yeah.
like, Lord, I have to go here again, but I do have to go there again because I have bills to pay. You
Yeah.
know? But I guess even in a regular work setting, you burn out. You get tired of going to work. But
Yeah, absolutely.
in your passion right now, you followed your passion, you followed your heart. Do you burn out in your passion? Do you get to a point you're like, okay, I need a break? Like, do you ever feel like that?
Yeah, I think that's natural because of either like not pacing yourself the right way, and I've done that many times and everything, or you're trying to work on something and things are just not working. And one of the biggest challenges is to figure out, is it time to put in more effort or is it time to let go, and everything. And it's just in general, even in relationships sometimes.
Right.
So, and so it's you have those moments, but before you make drastic decisions, relax, take a few days off,
Yeah.
relax, rest and everything, let it come full circle to you and everything. You'll have more clarity.
Right.
Like you make better decisions when you're relaxed. That's why I'm
That's true.
big on disconnecting, meaning there's times I will go, you won't see me on social
You
media
just
for a while.
unplug.
I'm not watching TV, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
I'm tuning in inside here, because even with what you're saying, when you're going to work and you're feeling like, oh, I don't want to be here. That's your instinct trying to tell you something.
Yeah.
And your instincts will never misguide you. Good instincts know what to do long before your head has figured it out.
Wow.
Okay. And so you need to like be able to turn off the world, get quiet and listen to what that thing is. Because here's the thing, we all were created with that instinct, with that quiet little voice. It's our GPS.
Yeah.
It's the thing that tells you, go here, do
Yeah.
here, hang out with this person, after this opportunity, don't do it. But you're never going to be able to hear it because it doesn't shout, it whispers.
Ooh.
You're never going to be able to hear it
Yeah.
until you get quiet enough, turn off everything. Get some alone time. If you need to, if your house is like too crowded, take some, just take a walk somewhere, whatever it is, and be able to tune into that little voice to tell you this is what you should be doing. Now,
Yeah.
it doesn't tell you everything every day, but it does tell you the most important decisions, which are the destiny decisions, the decisions that will take you like 10 years to be able to, accomplish and that kind of thing. Once you get quiet,
Yeah.
you're able to hear.
Yeah.
So now what it does for you, it gives you direction. And as you know, direction is more important than speed,
True.
right? Because many people are going fast nowhere,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So what happens is it's like most people is like, you're reacting. You're like, I'm tired of this. I'm just going to do this. Well, you do it and then you go, and then you hit a brick wall
Yeah.
because it's not working out and everything. And then now you quit. So you spend 2 years in this thing, you quit, you go into this, you do 5 years into this, you quit, you go to 3 years. So now you spent 10 years in 3-4 different things. Whereas if you had gotten quiet, listened to yourself, thought it out, planned it out, you now can spend 10 years into this thing and master that thing and be profitable eventually.
That is insane. You know what? I'm seeing comments saying, man, this is deep. Preach. Instinct is major, major key. People are saying deep, deep, deep. What are you doing Sunday after next? Because you know this, Anyway, I mean, you are speaking truth, man. And it's, you said something that a lot of successful people don't say. You gave us a background of what you did. You told us, I worked at Walmart, I worked at whatever, I did this. A lot of successful people won't tell you the struggle. They'll be like, yeah, I just worked odd jobs, that in pride of, I'm not going to tell you my struggle. And I guess that's why we have so many people here relating to what you're talking, because you're real, you're raw. It's like, yo, I did this. Walmart. Who works at Walmart? And it's when you're really struggling, you just want to make ends meet. But look
Absolutely.
at you now, So we really appreciate you. The other question, Sunny, what was the next question for?
Actually,
for
something made me so. Obviously, you picked your passion, and you applied yourself to it. You fully focused on your passion. With all these years of doing what you've done, what do you say? What makes you stand out from the other people in your field?
True.
Yeah. So I think that decision usually comes from the word go, like before you even start. Okay. Whereas before I got into it, I said, okay, there's tons of DJs out there.
Yeah.
Why should anybody pick me?
Yeah.
Why should anybody pick me over anybody else? You have to be honest about it. I couldn't just be like, oh, I think I'm good, and my friends and family tell me like I'm really good, and that's what's going to make it. That's, excuse my language, bullshit. Because the market will tell you how they really feel about you, right? By how much are they willing to pay you for it? How much are they willing to book you for it? So I knew that 99% or 99.9% of the people who I will need to rely on to make it, I currently do not know. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
Ooh.
so which means I have to do this thing in such an exceptional way that strangers are quick to support me before my own friends do.
Oh,
But that's interesting because, okay, I may be throwing this stone way too far, but you started pursuing your passion probably at a younger age.
Yeah.
So maybe maturity may have not quite set in for a lot of people. I'm not saying for you, but for a lot of people at the age that you decided to pursue this.
Yeah.
A lot of times people don't think like that. At that age, it's what my friends think about me, what my peers think about me, what my mother wants me to do. You already told a story, Amade. But how do you filter out that noise and decide that this is the audience that matters and filter out the audience that doesn't matter?
Absolutely. Well, just to be very clear, I went into this full-time 20, okay? Literally, I'm turning 38 this year, right?
Ooh,
I'm very raw with everything. I
Black don't crack.
BS about it, okay? The reason why they don't crack is because I am very careful about what I put my energy and things into so that things are not stressing me, they're not draining me, okay? Here's what you have to remember. This is not a rehearsal. You only have one life to live. Okay? This is not a rehearsal for something else. This is the only life you have to live. The easiest way to make decisions, I'll take a page from Jeff Bezos. There's something called regret minimization framework. And what you do is you project yourself when you're age 80 looking back on your life. And when you're age 80 looking back on your life, what are you going to regret more? Are you going to regret more trying this thing that is burning inside you and maybe it worked, it didn't work? Or are you going to regret more saying, I wanted to, but I was afraid because my friends and family told me to. So my entire life, I've been always wondering, what if?
I'm quitting my job tomorrow.
Me, I was going to say, if I quit my job, let me tell you guys, I'm doing this podcast full time. You guys, that is so deep. And you know what, Focus? I mean, you are a very intelligent person. You sound like you've mastered your art and everything. But are there obstacles that came with you following your passion? Obviously, like we asked, day one, you didn't go to a gig and they were like, okay, we'll pay you 30,000.
Yeah.
I know people will be like, well, unaanza, we'll give you 2,000. Let's see what you got. Were there obstacles that you were like, Haija, should I look for another job?
Yeah. So before you quit anything, here's what you need to understand. You need to understand that what comes with this journey. Okay. So it's like when I started, when I quit, I'd aligned a bunch of gigs. I had landed a bunch of gigs. I was gonna get paid. Finally, because I'd now established a few relationships and I was getting bookings and everything. Literally, after I quit everything, literally the next 2 weeks, what happened is this gig got canceled because the club got shut down because there was some shooting. This
Oh.
this gig got canceled because the promoter had another partner and they preferred this other DJ to me. This other gig got canceled because like some license issue with the build. Like there was a bunch of valid reasons that happened that made me lose out on all the gigs that I'd planned for the next like 2 months, thinking that's how I was gonna make money.
Yeah.
Everything, literally everything I was planning for the next 2 months. And at that point, it was like, oh crap. So now I went into reaction mode. Like I'm trying to get whatever it is. But first of all, I was staying in Kentucky. At that point, it was a very small town, Lexington, Kentucky. So there weren't that many clubs. There weren't that many options, whatever it is. So when this was done, meaning I am not going to receive any income for the next I don't know how much longer
Yeah.
months and everything. And so when that happened, after a while, I'm trying to get. Bills don't know nothing about that.
Yep.
Bills are still coming.
Yeah.
So before you know it, I can't pay for my phone bill. Okay, it's cut off. I can't pay rent, whatever it is. Before you know it, my roommate says, "Man, like we can't be able to live, whatever like this." So I'm kicked out. I have to go.
Yo.
Okay, so I have to go, and everything. And at that point is when I realized, oh wow, I didn't think this part through.
Shit
And
just
so
got
for
real.
anybody, huh?
Shit just got real.
Shit just got real. And so what I had to do at that point is say, okay, so if I'm going to be self-employed, yes, there's this joy that comes with no one is telling me what to do and all this stuff. But you have to work 6 to 9 months ahead of time. It's not like a paycheck where it's going to come regardless,
Yeah.
every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I have to work 6 to 9 months ahead of time so that when things are not working, I have many other backup plans. And that kicked in as to why I grind so, like, I'm always
Yeah.
like ahead and thinking whatever it is because of what I experienced that. So the best thing I can say is when you're about to jump into this, it's like going to, let's say, a theme park, right? And you see people, on a certain roller coaster and they're waving their hands, they're
Yeah.
moving, they're laughing, they're screaming, they're coming down. And you're like, wow, that looks fun,
Yeah.
right? And everything. And you get on it until it starts going up and down. And you finally say, this is the most dumbest idea ever. Why did I get on this thing?
feel
Stop this
you.
thing right now. Stop this thing right now. But it's too late. But it's too late.
It's
You're
too
out
late.
there, so
Yep.
it can't stop. So now you go through hell and you scream and you want to lose your mind and everything.
Yeah.
That's what entrepreneurship is about. It's a roller coaster. It is ups and downs and crazy. And don't just see what other people are making off and the fun that they're having, especially nowadays on the gram, which a lot of it is
Social
fake.
media.
And everything, a lot of it is fake.
True.
But it's like the reality of it. It is tough. It is harsh. It is brutal. And if you do not have the stomach to be able to withstand that ride, then it's going to be a rough ride for you. So I would say before you jump in, talk to somebody who's been on that roller coaster. Ask them for the real experience.
True.
Okay. Then also even yourself, do research on more people who have gone there so that the thing that you're looking for is not the smiles and the highs, is when somebody feels like they're sick. So that when what you're looking for is the dips, like the places where things are going down and everything. How did you survive that? And then once they tell you, so that when you're going through your downs, when you're going through your like, oh man, I feel like this is about to crash and everything, you realize, oh, actually, this is part of the journey. It's just part of the ride.
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't quit immediately, everything. So think about the plan before you exit. If you already have a corporate job right now, don't quit to jump to the passion. Figure your plan out first.
True.
Okay. I wouldn't advise somebody to do what I did. Like I said, I was 20 at that time. I didn't have crazy responsibilities and everything, or whatever it is. So and like I said, it was not an easy ride. So if you have the stomach for it, fine. Go ahead, jump in, do your thing, whatever.
But you've been told.
But also be ready to deal with the stuff that I was dealing with. Be ready to be evicted. Be ready to have your phone cut off. Be ready to be told you're crazy because, who's dumb enough to leave a good job to jump into this? Okay? All kinds of stuff. So figure your plan out. Plan it out, whatever it is. Now, somebody will say, well, I have a job. I don't have time for that. Yes, you do. every time you clock out of your job, as soon as you're done your job, you spend time on Netflix, you spend time on social media,
Yeah.
spend time going to day parties and house parties. That is the time you need to be working on
Your
your
passion.
side thing that eventually
Yeah.
will be your main
Your
thing.
main thing.
That's amazing.
So I
kuna
have
mtu
a
anasema
question.
hapa.
Oh, kuna comment.
Yeah, somebody has said, where is the number ya kutuma maombi? Huyu pastor sio jokes. Like, it's like you're preaching. You know, I mean, a lot of us, we hear these things, blah, blah, blah. But then, like, from somebody like you, who we know your journey, and you're here explaining how you started Walmart. Like, it's real to some people. Our audience knows you they know you, I guess, because of your success. They don't know you about the struggle. They know you because of success. And we know focus. When you hear focus, you're like, yo, that's a party I want to be at, you know. So people are relating because of that. I mean,
Yeah.
that coming from you, it's very, very
And you know,
close to home.
I have a question.
Thank you.
But also I have some feedback, which is like Ida just mentioned. When you hear fully focused, you're like, that's a party I want to go
Yeah.
to. You know, that's what a lot of people feel like. But what a lot of people don't realize is the work that went into putting together the party that everyone wants to go to.
Exactly.
It didn't just click and happen.
Exactly.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And so
Exactly.
and I had to learn that the hard way doing our live streams.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like, we prepare for 10 hours before a live stream with all kinds of crazy stuff, and then it's 2 hours and it's done.
You're like, all
Right.
that work for
Yeah.
this,
You know?
you know?
And
Exactly.
it was quite interesting. So my question to you is, does pursuing your passion pay? Is it worth it?
Yeah. So I will say this. I not only to pay, it's what you were created for. Right? You have to realize that it's beyond money. It's beyond this whole thing is not about passion or paycheck.
Yeah.
It's about purpose.
Ah,
There
This
you
whole
go
thing is
again,
about
man.
purpose.
Ugh.
All right.
So many
What
P's.
is your purpose on this planet? Why were you created? Why are you here? Why are you occupying the space? Why did you wake up today and somebody else did not wake up? Why are you here? Why are you still here? Even after all the mistakes you've made, even after all the failures you've had,
Yeah.
even after all the, things that you've done, why are you still here? That means you have a purpose.
True.
That means you have an assignment to fulfill. Your job is to figure out what that thing is. Now, that thing must improve or better the world better than you found it. Okay?
Yeah.
In some way. Now, you may ask me, you're a DJ. How are you improving the world?
True.
I'll tell you how. When people come into my party or my gig or listen to my mix, I don't know what they're going through.
Yeah.
It could be breakups. They could have lost jobs. They could have lost family. But I know music is spiritual. It can uplift you.
Yeah.
It can change your mood.
Yeah.
Okay. So usually that's my mindset. When these people are coming, I don't know what they went through, but my job is to, for those 1, 2, 3 hours, to uplift their spirit through music. Okay. So that when they go back, they'll be like, you know what? It's going to be all right. Like,
It's okay.
it changes their energy, their perspective, or whatever it is. So you can actually call me more of a therapist than a DJ. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So once you understand that, you start thinking things through with intention. What is the feeling that people get from me? And that is connected to, one, what is the feeling that people get from you? And two, it's like how are you bettering their lives? What problem are you solving? Okay. And remember, I told you before you say, okay, whatever it is, please understand there are tons of people who are already doing what you want to do.
Yes.
Okay. Never think you're special, that you are the only one who's coming. And even if you think it's completely different, I guarantee you, if you do enough research,
Yeah.
you'll find out that there's other people who are already doing what you're doing in
Yeah.
a far better way.
Yeah.
So why should people pick you? Always do that. And again, not friends or family, because they'll tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that once you figure out your purpose is why are you here, then it's easy to say, okay, how do I turn this purpose into something that is helping people? It is something that's bettering the lives of people. It is something that's bringing joy to people. If you're a chef, you're not just cooking food.
Yeah.
There's a feeling you get when you eat food and it makes you happy, or it brings families and friends together. That's a purpose. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And everything. And here's the thing, it doesn't have to be sometimes major, revolutionary type of stuff or whatever. Sometimes it could be, somebody just enjoys being around children. And
Oh,
so there's some parents who are
yes,
struggling with,
that's me.
how do I find a nanny, a babysitter,
Should I
whatever?
quit and be a
Who will people?
nanny?
You understand what I'm
You're talking to
saying?
my heart right this
Again,
minute.
again, think of your
I
plan.
need a plan.
Think of
Okay,
your
okay.
plan.
Yeah,
Think of your
continue,
plan.
sir. Sorry.
Okay. First, identify what that thing is. What is your purpose?
Right.
Right? Number one, what is your purpose?
Yeah.
And your purpose is related to something that if you could do every day for the next 5 to 10 years without getting paid,
Yeah.
that's one clue into what your purpose is.
Yeah.
The second
like
thing
that.
is, it could be that thing that you always complain about people should do. Man, they need to do something about this. Like, you're very passionate about it. Well, you are the they.
Oof.
Okay, you could be the they.
Yeah.
So it's figuring out, some people you will see a problem that no one else is seeing, and it's your job to fix that problem. Now figure that part out. Do as much homework, do as much research. What does it mean to be able to do that? If I was to establish a job or whatever about this, fine, I need to set up my business, I need to set up the LLC. What kind of business do I need? Where does it need to be? Does it need to be state? Does it need to be federal? Whatever it is. And then next thing is, okay, how much money do I need to start this?
Yeah.
Do I need to hire people? Do I need an office? Well, maybe you don't need an office, because the first year you may not even get sales. So don't add on to whatever. Don't take your corporate money and buy a corporate office, or rent or lease a corporate office when you may not get sales between now and year 2. So save that money that you would have been paying for rent because you don't have sales until you get to the point you have sales and can be able to hire people and everything. Be thoughtful about your entire plan.
What you just said reminded me of something, and you really put it in context. Dale Carnegie said there's no such thing as a neutral interaction. You either leave the person you interact with better or worse than you found them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that really puts that into context.
Absolutely. It's 100% true. Like when I tell you I'm very big on intention, everything about that's why whenever it's my events, whenever it's my mixes, whenever it's my live streams, everything is very thought out. I'm always like, what exactly do I want these people to feel when they leave here?
Yeah,
I understand.
Yeah, I was we were in Dallas together the last day party. And I remember we were I was obviously drunk. But I remember I was talking, shut up, stop telling people I was drunk. I remember telling people, Maze ujamaa ametupeleka on a journey, because you said, I'm about to take you guys on a journey. Like, it was literally like a story you told till the very end. We were like, damn it. By the time you're finishing, all of us were like, yo, did you experience that? Like, it was like, Nika tumevuta bangi, hatuko tumevuta, I swear to God. But anyway, my thing is, now, with what you do right now, how can we support you? Like, we're talking about supporting small businesses, supporting our friends. We're about to get deep into that. But since we're here and we have you here, how can we support you? Like, how do I show support to Fully Focus?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I appreciate that. I think that it's looking at, there's a lot of different things I've been doing. Of course, I've been playing. I do these, mixes. And whether it's the events, show up for those events. If it's music, like I've been putting out a lot of music lately, it's important to my own community to support me. I will say this, that we do have some challenges in the Kenyan community of understanding the importance of community building and supporting, right? And everything. I'll say this. I'll give you an example. I spent a lot of years with different communities, and one thing I noticed about Nigerians is they support not because it's quality, but because it's their own, right?
Yeah.
Like this guy is doing this, man, our guy is doing this, and they'll hype it.
Yeah.
They're not so caught up as, well, it's not as good as that, because they know nothing starts as that. It starts as this, and it's your job to give that person feedback to help them improve. Not haterism or criticism. It's feedback. Okay, because whether it's Walmart, whether it's Amazon, they didn't start off what they are. They started. If take some time and look at Amazon's first website. Okay. To everybody, when you get a chance, Google Amazon. Amazon right now is valued at 1.3 billion. It's literally the biggest company in the world, possibly, if not Apple. But if you look at the first version of their website, it's like somebody who made it on Microsoft Paint or something like that, right? But it was like, wow, this guy is coming to solve a problem. He's helping us be able to shop for books online. And so they started supporting the idea and the intention this person had, and help them improve. So same thing. It's like, I spend a lot of time making sure that I put out quality everything, right? Quality, and everything. And so it's like, when I do that, I can only do so much. I can't
Right.
do everything myself. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like once I do that and I share and it's coming from a place of passion, it would be great if the community was intentional about this is our guy. He's because everything I've ever done, I've always represented Kenya and
Yeah.
Africa. That's the
Right.
one thing. You
Yeah, like
understand?
we were just talking
So
about it, even in your music, you always say, I always do it for the 254 by Soundtech Global. Like 254 is never missed in anything that you
Yeah.
do, you know?
exactly.
And
So because
it's a
yeah,
good point because it's like sometimes, like you said, everything you do is quality. But wouldn't you say that the quality you present today is better than the quality you presented 5 years ago? And what you did
100%,
5 years ago is better than the quality you did 10 years ago.
True.
Exactly, and
So,
a lot of it, I'll tell you what, a lot. You're 100% right about that because for me, even from the time I was starting, I never wanted to be great. I never wanted to be like at that time I was DJing. I never wanted to be, oh, he's a great Kenyan DJ. I didn't want to be that. I wanted to be a great DJ who happens to be Kenyan.
Ah,
Okay,
yeah,
in the sense that it doesn't matter what part of the world you hear me, you'll be like, this is a great DJ. Oh, and he's Kenyan. Do you understand what I'm saying?
right.
Because when you do the other way of a great Kenyan
Kenyan
DJ, then you're
DJ.
doing based on Kenyan standards
I
Yeah.
see.
or what your expectation is of Kenyan. So for me, it was always like on in an international, and by the grace of God, that's how I was able to be in rooms and form partnerships and work with people like the Diplos and the Major Lasers and the
Yeah.
Akons and everything because of I know what standard that is. So I would study the best of the best and be like, man, how do I do that? So I was always very harsh with myself and about the level of quality and level of execution. And as a result, if you are around me, if you're part of my team or working with me, I expect you to do on that level.
To be on
So a
that
lot of people
level.
sometimes would take it like, personal, like because I'm like, no, that's not good enough. Like you need to, but if I'm gonna push myself, if you're gonna be with me, I'm gonna push you. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna dumb it
Yeah.
down to make you
Yeah.
fit. It's
Yeah.
for you to stand, step it up so
Right.
that we
Right.
can play on this level. Because if you do that, we all win. You understand what I'm saying?
That's good. That's so good. Right. You know I'm messy, focus. I'm about to get into post you
Oh Lord.
posted. But before I get into that, I've seen a very, very nice question over here that I have to ask you.
Yes.
Ken African, hi Ken, thanks for watching. He's a very big supporter of Kenyan stuff also. He's asking, what's the difference between feedback and haterism stroke criticism? How would you answer that?
Shout out to Ken. I think he sent me something before.
Oh, Ken is amazing.
Yeah. So I think the difference, first of all, is who is this feedback or
Coming
criticism coming from, right? That you have to, first of all, it's who and how they say it,
Yes.
right? And everything. So the first thing is, if it's somebody who has been there, or let's say it's somebody who's close,
Yeah.
you've known a while, and they've been with you up and down, through thick and thin, when you were doing okay, when you were not, when you're
Yeah.
starting out, whatever. Like they're just there for you. When they mention something, it's worth listening to because they're there for you, not for what you're for,
That's deep.
right? Not what you do. They're there for you, not what you do.
True.
They want to see you, the individual, win, regardless of what you're doing, right? Because you could change crafts, but they're just, that they're ride or die for you. So that's worth somebody maybe listening to if they've been there when there were no fans or when there were no supporters and everything.
Yeah.
However, if it's somebody you've known, they've never really supported. They don't show up. They don't listen. They don't tune in. They don't share.
Yeah.
If you put out your podcast, they don't share. They don't mention.
Come on,
They
say
don't
that
comment. They don't
again.
engage.
Imagine.
Whatever it is, and then all of a sudden they want to come tell you what to do.
What's it do? Like, wait, what?
Okay, no, you're not qualified to do that because you're not truly. You haven't walked the journey with me to earn that position.
I like
I
that.
like
I like
it.
that
Okay.
a lot.
I like
Okay.
it.
I like
I
it.
like
Okay,
it.
so that's people who you know. People who you don't know, right? There's a way somebody can just be like, hey, I see what you're doing. I like what you're doing. But it would be better if ABC. Okay, that's a good
Okay.
suggestion. Okay, and everything. Or somebody who could be angry. Like, man, I came to you, like, for instance, with my events. It'd be like, hey, man, I came to your event. I was supporting and everything. And then this happened and blah, 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 whatever. They break it down and everything. Like, man,
Like,
I
okay.
really, like, I felt disappointed because I wanted, better and I was hoping for. You can be able to dissect if it's it's just genuine frustration, just like you get frustrated
Yeah.
out of your mobile carrier or whoever it is. You're like, I'm with you,
Yeah.
but hey, you're messing up. Like you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
want to support you, but you're messing up. So you can be able to hear that. Now you can be that's a little bit more feedback or whatever. And you're like, man, that's actually right. There was and here's the thing, most of the times, if you dig down to it, more the criticism that you told you, it's things that you already know yourself. If you're honest enough,
True.
you already know.
Yeah.
It's just that somebody else is pointing it out.
Yeah.
You understand? And then you're like,
Oh,
fine, I messed up. And then you're like, listen, I got you. I'm sorry. It was A, B, C, D. Don't make excuses. Take full responsibility. But then
Right.
now make a promise to
do better.
build, because the people who give you that feedback are some of your best customers. Because there's some people who will see something wrong. If you go to a restaurant
Yeah.
and you sit down and something is broken or it's not working right or whatever it is, and you don't say anything about it, you have not helped yourself or that person. One,
Well,
you're
yeah.
irritated throughout the whole time because you're like, man,
So
why
true.
would they do that, whatever it is? And you're not helping the owner improve the place because you're not maybe they're so busy with other things that they're not seeing this.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey man, have you guys seen this? Maybe you should fix or whatever it is. So it helps that person improve, and that person values you and be like, listen, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
And then now it's that you have to make it you have to reciprocate. You have to make it transactional. Like, okay, this is what you can do moving forward, to establish that relationship with that customer. That's feedback criticism. Now, there's somebody who you've never heard of or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And literally you will be like, man, your shit is garbage, or like there's a way that they'll say, man, you should quit, or you're not good. Like there's a way people say things that tell you what their intention is.
Yeah, true.
There's somebody
Yeah.
who will tell you the intention is to help you improve.
Yeah.
And then there's somebody who will tell you the intention is to kill your spirit.
Yep.
There's
know what I mean?
feedback and there's disgrace. And someone's
Exactly.
trying to disgrace you. And
Absolutely.
I have to say focus. I have to put this out there before Ida gets messy here with some tweets.
I'm ready.
I have to say, you are one of those people, and like you said, you try and change lives. You're one of those people that have really inspired me personally, right?
Appreciate it.
My
Appreciate it.
favorite book is one I saw you tweet about. It's Jim Rohn's The
You
Art
guys,
of Exceptional Living.
are you witnessing
Oh,
the
wow.
bromance? Because
Yeah.
I am.
So I've bromance.
It's just so sweet though.
No,
like,
like-
men don't talk like this.
No,
These are the
and
men I need in my
this is the
life.
thing, this is the
See
thing.
my
we
friends.
we have to keep shit real. I mean,
This is amazing.
fuck all the
Yeah.
excuse my language, but fuck all the expectations of how you're supposed to be. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
My favorite book is The Art of Exceptional Living by Jim Rohn. I've listened to it, I've read it, I've listened to it, I've read it.
Yeah.
And I've got bookmarks that I go back to because that is stuff from way back in the day that is still relevant today.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
amazing.
And now I'm gonna let Ida get messy.
Yo,
Well, before you get messy,
Okay.
itching to get messy.
Yeah.
Let me say this. First of all, I appreciate that. Let me say this, that I did not get here because I was born this way and everything. Please understand, I come from a single parent home.
Yeah.
My mother was a teacher and everything. I didn't come from money. I didn't come from connections. I didn't come from none of that.
Yeah.
And that's why all those even jobs I was starting out earlier was like, this was survival. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It was just, there was a decision I made some point and said, I want more out of life.
Yeah.
Right. And since I don't personally have mentors around me, people I can say, wow, that person, we don't have too much of that in our community. Right. And everything. So I said, okay, but I kept hearing about all leaders are readers. And I kept hearing about the answers that you want are in the books. And I came to discover this world of personal development,
Oh yeah.
which I will strongly urge. If I say nothing else, if you got nothing else out of this interview,
Yeah.
I will urge you to get into personal development. And that is the study of self, and that is the study of improving self. There are people who have done what you want to do to perfection, and they've written books about it. Those are the people to learn from.
Yep.
You understand? You don't have to meet every person that you want. And once you meet those people, read their books.
Yeah.
They will, all the answers that you want are there. And I'll give you a quick example before we jump into this other segment.
Yeah.
Of how I started doing personal development is, if let's say I went into a business meeting and we were negotiating,
Yeah.
and I thought I was prepared, but I didn't get what I wanted out of it,
Mm-hmm.
right? It didn't go the way I wanted. I leave there like, man, I'm not happy how that happened. Why did that happen? Well, I did bad negotiating. Why did you do bad negotiating? Well, because maybe you haven't understood how to do that. Okay, get a book about negotiating.
Negotiating.
Oh,
Study it, learn it, understand it, so that then you practice it. So the next time you're going to another meeting, you know how to go about it. You
that's
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
amazing.
Every single area of my life, that's how I do. I allow myself to fail, but while I'm in failure, instead of escaping it, instead of blaming, instead of pointing, well, I didn't grow up with somebody who was in this world, or I
Yeah.
didn't have nobody. No,
Nobody told
you are
me.
not responsible for what has happened to you up to this point. You are responsible for what happens to you from this point.
That's
You
deep.
understand?
Phew.
So
You know,
anyway, we could go on and on. So go ahead.
yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
this
I
is
mean,
something we can talk about till, I mean, forever.
tomorrow, I
Yeah.
know. I mean, you have, to be honest, this is one of the my best interviews on this show. We've had so many episodes, but I mean, getting real is what we strive to do on this podcast. Getting real and raw and just sharing our hearts. And you're doing that with our audience. Oh my God, I can't tell you how many people are so happy to have you here. Asking for your cash app, Sidri, how do we support you? Which will put all your social media handles later down here so that people can follow, support, and just shout you on, because we really appreciate what you do for us. Like
Thank
you
you.
said, you
Thank
save
you.
a life here and there with your music. And so let me get messy real quick. So you put up a tweet a few months ago, right? And we talked about it on our podcast. You're talking about how people are recklessly throwing the word goat. And goat, if you
Right.
don't know, is the greatest of all times.
Right.
And you were like salty. You're like, why y'all keep throwing this word around? So anybody who plays your favorite jam is a goat. I mean, and I was like, okay, do tell. So do tell. How
Okay.
did you feel at that point? Because we call everybody the goat, to be honest. As long
Yeah.
as you play two of my requests, hey, you're the goat. You've only been in the industry 2 weeks. What are you the goat of? You are sheep, Anyway, do continue.
Okay. So I think the first thing is to understand that everybody hears things based on how they perceive or what their internal, what their internal perception is of somebody. The tweet said, I miss the days when GOAT were reserved for a few select people, right? The people who are exceptional, who have been proven to be the best of all time throughout a significant period. Nowadays, it's about who your personal favorite person
Yeah.
is. So I said it's less more GOAT and it's more sheep, right?
Yeah.
Now, notice nowhere in that
Yeah.
did I reference music or jams.
Yeah,
You
true.
just said
I
play
did.
2 jams.
Yeah.
You internalized what you thought I was talking about.
Because of
Right.
your career, I was like, because
Hold
maybe
on.
he's talking about music,
But hold on. That's an assumption,
Yep, true.
True.
right? The way I came to that was literally it was like the week before. I was watching an interview with, I think it was like Gucci Man and Lil Baby, like the rappers, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, it wasn't an interview. It was a clip that that was passing. And when I clicked on the comments, and I noticed a few people like, "Yo, goat," the one goat talking to another goat and everything. And all of a sudden, I remember saying, "Wait, I've noticed that every time I'm clicking on a sports clip or a music clip or whatever it is or anything, everybody's just saying goat, goat, goat." And I was like,
Yeah.
this young generation, I don't think they understand what that doesn't make sense. Like, greatest of all time is a distinctive term to talk about a specific, individual who has certain characteristics.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, like this term is being thrown around everywhere. And so that's why I tweeted. I didn't even think of DJing. Nobody was even thinking of that. Like I said,
Right.
you internalized it.
Right, but
Now,
you
let me-
see how
now-
that could be misconstrued because you are a DJ.
Yes,
You've been in the
because of
field for so
assumptions.
long.
And also at that time, when that tweet came out, was when this live streaming thing is blowing up,
Yeah.
right? And everyone in the comment section is tweeting goat emojis on every DJ.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. If you pay attention, I was off Facebook for a long time.
That's
Right? So I wasn't even paying attention
Aware.
to any of that.
Yeah.
I wasn't even in that. That's what I'm saying. It's people internalizing
Right.
what they thought. I wasn't even thinking about that.
Yeah,
Right?
I'll tell you this,
now,
Focus.
Right. Now,
With your
hold
platform. Okay, go ahead.
On. Hold on. Here's why it is important for us to have distinctiveness. For instance, if you had a Heineken bottle there,
Yeah.
a Moet bottle there, and a Jack Daniels bottle there, right? And I came to you and I said, pass me the beer. What would you do?
I'll
Pass you
bring
the
the
Heineken.
Heineken.
Right, because that's what distincts it. You wouldn't
Yeah.
pass me the Jack Daniels or Moet because
No.
that's different things. So the point of terms is to distinct things from other things. So you can't say a goat is this because this is what I feel
Ah, that's
like.
good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay? You understand? So if we're going to talk about things, let's talk in facts. First, let's talk about facts, then you can add opinion. You can
Right.
say,
I like that.
when I'm asking for a beer, it's either Heineken or Corona or Stella, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't drink. So, but you understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
First, speak to the facts of it, then get to the bottom of it, not your personal
Opinion
opinion
of it.
about how you feel about something.
Yes, I like that.
So that's
But what I was
basically
gonna
if that answers
say,
the whole goat thing.
yeah, I was gonna say with your platform, like, I mean, even me, I'm careful to say. Sometimes I'm like, men are doing this. People are like, oh, so whoever you are dating is doing this. I'm like, God, I didn't even say that. But with your
Yeah.
platform, why it was a topic we want, and we were talking about DJing at the time. We were like, Focus said this. I mean, you're big. You know, we'll pick up your tweet and retweet it. I mean, it comes with you
and I'm
having
totally
work
fine
on.
with that. It would just be nice to be like, can you ask what
Yeah.
I'm talking about, what I'm
Okay,
referring
next
to,
time
rather
we'll
than
text you. Hi,
assumptions?
Focus.
Next time we'll text you.
I'm gonna recommend a book to you.
Okay, please. I'd love that.
There's a book called The Four Agreements. Okay.
Okay.
It's a very
And did
powerful
actually
book,
praise.
very helpful book. It's called The Four. I forgot the author's name,
Okay, that's fine. I'll
but
look it up.
I'll just give you what it is. The Four Agreements is number one. Be impeccable with your word. What that means is make sure that everything that comes out of your mouth you are willing to stand by through thick, through thin,
That's
and
good.
so that whenever somebody says Ida said this, you're like, Ida
Yeah, I
doesn't
owned
say
it.
stuff like that because you stand by your word. Do you
I
understand what I'm
see.
saying?
Yes.
Number one. Or somebody be like, yeah, Ida would say something like this. So be impeccable with it so that anybody was scared, you can do that. The
Yes.
second thing is never make assumptions. Okay?
Yes.
Never make assumptions. Ask for clarity. Ask for whatever it is. Don't just run with what somebody says or even what you feel at the moment, whatever it is. Get to the bottom of the truth. Get to the
Okay.
bottom of the real before you say something about it. And even if somebody was to come and tell you, man, you know what I heard about Stuke? This is what he did, he was doing.
Yeah.
You'd be like, that's your opinion. Let me get to the bottom of it first
I
before I
like
can
it.
jump into react or whatever it is. The third thing is never take anything personally. People most of the times
That
are
one is
doing things
important.
out of
I
what's
know.
going on in their life, and it's just projecting onto you. If you're driving down a highway and somebody cuts you off, it has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
That person is going through their hell or whatever it is that they're running to. They're late for their job or they have their own stress. They're just
Yeah.
doing that. If you internalize it, now you're carrying all their problems. Be like, hey, just relax. Don't
Yeah.
take it personal. They're just whatever it is. And then the fourth thing is always do your best. Like basically, it's I think what Oprah said was let excellence be your brand. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're gonna do something, do it better than any. If you're gonna sweep that floor, if you're gonna do this podcast, do it better than any and everybody has ever done it.
Yes.
Yep.
Be
Uh,
exceptional with what you
it comes
do.
with
Put
attention
your
to
best.
details. It really comes with
Yes.
attention to details.
I'm very big on
Yeah,
that.
like I
Big
preach
on
that. But anyway,
Listen, we
can
want to
keep talking
hug you.
forever.
We want to hug you and have you for the rest
This
of the
interview has gone
podcast.
overtime.
I know,
Sorry.
but
No, it's okay.
Focus.
Don't apologize. We've had a great time.
I know. Focus.
Yeah.
We cannot
Yes.
tell you how grateful we are for you to make time. I mean, you're a busy man. You do a lot of things. And like you said, you detach yourself from social media a lot. You don't just avail yourself to everything. So us having you here is such an honor. We thank you so much. And for your next party, I'm going to be there. I'll be the loudest, I'll be the loud
I
one.
know you will. But
Asante.
but I do truly appreciate you guys, having me. I do I like being able to share some of these conversations, these different level conversations. I don't want to be coming to an interview to talking about the same old stuff, you know what I
Right.
mean, and everything that everybody asks and everything. But it's more about information that will help people. And listen, I'm as transparent as it gets. So I'm glad I could be able to share this.
Yeah.
And hopefully there's one person who heard something that'd be like, my the intention when I was coming into this is hopefully one person will hear something that will change their perspective.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're looking at a situation, but now you're looking at it differently, and hopefully you're
Because-
able to make decisions that help you advance and shift your life. And one day down the road, just like Sonny said, just like you, when you read a book and it changes your life and be like, oh wow, it changes completely how you think.
Yeah.
All I'm gonna ask everybody is challenge the way you think, challenge the way you look at things,
That's
to
good.
think things a little bit different, open your mind and everything. Now, in regards to me, I will say this music project that I'm doing is going to feature a lot of different artists. I've been putting out some music. I will ask you guys, please, to every time I put out a song, I currently have one called Love You right now. Share it with everybody you can. Stream it, play it, share it with your mama, grandpapa, and everything.
We actually featured Love You on our last podcast.
Yeah,
because
we
the,
nice.
the end of our podcast is about featuring new music.
Yeah.
So we
did.
end the podcast with featuring new music.
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah.
I want to create feel-good music that makes people feel better, especially with everything that's been going on.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that, with this music project, and like I said, there'll be a lot more coming up that people can be able to feel that. And so
guys,
that's what I can say for
you've heard, when Focus releases his next tune, hit that share button, hit that like button.
Subscribe to his YouTube channel.
Subscribe to all his channels. Guys, we're going to get into that in just a little bit. You have no idea what that does.
I know, but Focus, I can't tell you enough how grateful we are. We love you, man. We appreciate you. And you know what? I dare call you the motherfucking GOAT. Shoot me.
Yeah. for this Sunday. If I tune in next Sunday, you interview someone else, you call them, then I'll be like, I'm done.
No, guy, me, I can't do you like this. You're our people's. Guy, mwana wito. Tamakasha. No, I got you. Same was up. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks for tuning in. That was,
thank you.
Thank you, absolutely. Yes.
Oh my goodness. I feel
that
so
was
full.
DJ Fully Focused, man.
Oh
my goodness.
I feel like my cup has been refilled. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel so inspired. See, for podcast station, Evo. Kabla niwaamwagilie ujinga ingine. You've been given all the wisdom there could be. I mean, that was amazing, Sunny.
So
how do you
this
feel about
podcast
that
is going to go a little longer than intended.
Yeah. I mean, we couldn't. I mean, how can you stop that?
We couldn't stop. That was some knowledge that we just couldn't stop.
Oh, my goodness.
While the podcast continues,
why
I'm
is
gonna.
my camera frozen? I look there crazy.
I don't know why your camera.
Just remove that camera. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I mean, giving feedback to Focus, like he said.
I'm gonna take a quick break.
Obviously, I mean, why is my microphone? You muted me. So Focus has shared a lot of wisdom. If anything, like he said, how do you show Focus support? Go ahead and like his stuff. Share, download, go subscribe to his channel. That's how you show support. I mean, utamfuata kila mahali, but if you can, go to all his shows. That's how you show love and support. We're about to talk about supporting small businesses. I don't even know if you're ready because I'm so passionate about this. But right before, I want to read a few comments before Mr. Sistuki comes in. Oh my God. Somebody said, Akinya Bonge said, Focus, I absolutely love the way you express yourself and your use of language. Somebody said, some people use GOAT due to personal preference, not merit. It's true. We addressed that. You're so right. Corley O'Neill says, yes, I miss those days too. It's also about popularity. People are now focused more on popularity than actual greatness in the craft. I think she was talking about the days where your craft would separate you from the crowd. Oh my goodness. Somebody said this is more like wine wisdom. Sunday, wine down, wine wisdom. I like it. I'm with that. Y'all, let's talk about the loosely used GOAT term. We did, O'Neill. We did. And we're so happy that you guys were able to join. I see a lot of people talking about you remembering Focus from the days in LA. Focus used to shut down that party, you guys. I went to PXP last year. Was it last year? I believe. In Vegas, and oh my goodness, like a Focus party is just yes so. And you know, like I said, I'm the loudest in the party, so by the time I'm leaving the party, sina sauti. Anyways, Sunny Sistuki is trickling back, I hope. Next one, Mary, we see you. Somebody said okay, this FB emojis is really freaking me out. Please just like the show, be like excuses. And we're going to talk about supporting your friends' businesses or small businesses. Sunny, welcome back to your own podcast where you take breaks to urinate in the middle of the podcast. Sanitize and wash your hands. Thank you. This is my co-host, everybody.
Hi, guys. I'm back.
Jesus Christ. I have to just blabber here some shit because my co-host has to take a pee break in the middle of the show. Anyway, Sunny, we're talking about supporting your friends' businesses. Sunny, you have a small business. I know you have a full-time job, but you also have a small business.
Uh-huh.
And do you want to tell people what your small business is about? Well, your side gig, Afritech Zone.
So
Yeah,
one
that
of my
business.
small businesses.
Yeah, you have several. I had to
is,
specify.
Actually, let me borrow your phone.
Wow.
One of the things we just introduced pop sockets.
Yeah.
Right? It's called Afritech Zone. You can also get to it by going to sistuki.com.
Yes.
If you go to sistuki.com, you'll get to afritechzone.com. And we have phone cases, smartwatch bands,
Yeah.
pop
Which we always
sockets,
wear everywhere.
t-shirts, all that. Whether you buy the product, and this is not just about promoting my business. It's a message I want to send out to everybody that's tuned in. Whether you buy our product or not, obviously preferred that you buy our product, but even if you don't buy the product, a like with social media, what a like does is the more likes something has, the more it pops up on other people's timeline. It's an algorithm that social media uses. Another thing, a share. By you sharing, and here's the thing, a lot of times what we do is we end up sharing
Most
Gucci,
irrelevant.
Louis, Nike, Adidas, Netflix, Hulu,
Okay.
HBO.
You could go on.
I mean, I can go on till
Yeah.
tomorrow. Can I keep going on?
No, I don't want you to.
Okay. Bose, Harman Kardon,
Yeah.
Heineken,
Okay.
Apple.
Yeah, but.
Yeah. But you involuntarily share all this stuff. We all do it. I'm not pointing blame.
Yeah.
Right? We all do it. But as you're scrolling, a quick share on your friend's business or product. Let's make it a habit. Let us just make it. It doesn't cost you a dime.
That's true, Sunny. And you did say your small business is this stuff where you represent Kenya and you represent the Kenyan brand to your American clientele.
Right.
Like this is an Apple Watch, but with a Kenyan wristband. I mean, how amazing is that? Like I walk around, people are like, "Oh, is that Gucci?" I'm like, that's the colors of
Actually,
our
I
flag.
get asked that also. If it's
I know,
Gucci.
me, I used to see me do a hair flip. By the way, thanks, guys, for saying my hair looks nice. Anyway, they're like, is that Gucci? No, that's a Kenyan brand, That feels so nice and personal to say that.
Yep.
And also, Sunny, I can tell you, my side hustle, you want to ask me or you want me to just say, ask me?
Ida has a side hustle. What's your side hustle like?
Oh, I'm so happy that you asked. My side hustle is I do ads and YouTube videos for brands.
Right.
They'll reach out. I get paid to do that. I have a decent following on social media, and so brands will reach out and I will promote them on my page and get paid that way.
Yep. Usually a lot bigger brands. Am I not wrong?
It's true, yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. Like, for example, the table we use for our podcast, which is an autonomous desk, it's the smart desk where it can be a standing desk, sitting desk, whatever. I'm not promoting them right this minute, but this table that we use here, it was something that the company sent it to me to do a review and keep the table. This table is expensive. Look
Right.
it up.
And they paid you for it.
And they paid me for it.
Right.
So when I reach out and ask people, hey, like my post,
Subscribe to her YouTube channel.
subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'm asking you to help me get that dollar, that $2. I'm just asking for your push to help me get that money. It takes nothing from your pocket. All you gotta do is push a button and you're helping somebody. Because that's my side. The more likes this post gets, the more shares this desk gets, the more I get paid, the more, and we're not even in the same field, but you get what I mean? I mean, I'm already talking to an audience that's tuned in to the Sunday Wind
that's
Down
supporting
podcast.
us as it
that's
is.
supporting us.
And we can't thank you enough.
I know.
Right?
You guys are already doing it. We ask you to just share and subscribe and like. We already are so proud that we have this family here that loves on us and supports us and corrects us. Some of you send DMs, you're like, here, you should have done this. We're like, oh, okay, sour. But small businesses, for example, the shirts we are wearing today, we were not paid to do this, but because it's a small business, we were like, you know what, we have it could not be a big platform. It's a small platform that we decide to showcase this. If you, like I said, this is Layla and Annie. Madam Producer, please tag their names down on the comment section so people can go follow and also buy their merchandise. They also make some juice, which I'm about to try. It's somewhere in the fridge here. I forgot to bring it out. They're such amazing people. They just shared their shirts. And me, I was like, in return, see, we just dunga these shirts and we support these people. I mean, it takes nothing away from us. It takes nothing away from...
and I have to give a big shout out, actually. The shout out I'm going to give out is to DJ Slim Martin.
Oh, yeah.
This guy constantly is promoting our own. Talk about the t-shirts, the turmeric magic, promoting us, promoting other Kenyan businesses,
Yeah.
every business that's out there. And that's what we need to do. Consider this, and we're going to pass off of this topic and go a little bit into passion versus paycheck.
Yeah.
And continue with this topic a little bit. But consider this. Everyone goes out and buys clothes, wine, juice, phone cases,
Yeah.
whatever, all these different businesses. You all, in general, everybody goes out and buys this stuff.
Right.
What happens if we all decide we're going to buy our own?
Yeah. I mean,
If it costs $1 or $2 more, okay, this is a small company that has a bigger overhead structure and the profit margins aren't there because they do stuff in bulk. Even if it costs $1 or $2 more, if all of a sudden our whole community only supported each other and promoted each other's side hustle,
yeah.
here we go. You can help everyone go from their paycheck to their passion.
Oh, Sunny, that's deep. I like that. I like that a
Right.
lot. Oh, that's some good stuff. Yeah, you can help somebody move from their paycheck to their passion because first of all, we're passionate about this podcast. So passionate. You should see how much time we put into this, how much money we spend. She's passionate, in her business and all this stuff. Anyway, you know what? It boiled down to Sunny, and I was telling you guys yesterday, some of us are just meant to give more love than we'll ever receive. And we're okay with that. Sometimes I'll support your business. I'm out there shouting you out. You'll never do the same for me. It's not barter trade. But sometimes you have to accept that.
Yeah.
I will come to your gigs, you host gigs, I'll be the first one there making noise about them. You can't even like my post. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's okay. Sometimes you just do things for the love of it. But if you would show love back, it would be great.
Absolutely. So I want to take this to another level a little bit.
Okay.
At the beginning of the podcast, we talked about how majority of the people picked paycheck, especially
Yeah.
on your poll,
Yeah.
over passion, which is valid. Because let's think about it from another person's perspective a little
Okay.
bit. I'll use myself as an example a little
Right.
bit too. We just talked to Fully Focus, who clearly in his 20s decided his passion is where he's going to put all his effort.
Yeah.
Right? He's going to focus fully on his effort. No pun intended.
Yeah, fully on his effort. Love that.
So, I am someone that while I pursued my passion on the side for years and years and years, I still pursued my paycheck every day,
Yeah.
right? And while every day I wait for the day when I will be able to drop that paycheck and my passion will be able to complete that paycheck for me.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
How, at this moment where you are in life, how can me and the audience watching right now support you so you're able to drop your day job and follow your passion? How can we do that?
Well, one is my DJing, which is my passion, Sistuki. Two is AfriTech Zone, sistuki.com.
What can we do?
Share, like we
Share,
said.
like, share,
like, purchase the product, right?
Okay, good.
And do that not just for me, but for every other person in our
DJ,
community,
yeah.
right? Okay, now here's a situation where I have picked my career.
Yeah.
I've been in my career now for 14, 15 years. And as much as I have my passion, and that's really what I want to do, and I wish tomorrow that I could just stop everything and just focus on this completely and let that pay all my bills. That's everyone's dream, right? And there's so many coaches out there on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube nowadays with the social media and the internet. Coaches telling you have to have multiple streams of income. You have to do this. You have to do that. You have to do all these things.
Yeah.
You can't just sit on your butt. You can't watch Netflix all the time, right? I think a lot of times that message gets misconstrued as in you need to half-ass your 9 to 5 and then because at the end of the day that is not your where you want to put all your effort.
Yeah.
That is not your end goal.
Yeah, and I think that, like you said, a lot of people will do that. But I think sometimes when you put your whole ass, because you said half-ass,
Yeah.
you get it? I'm so hilarious. When you use both your asses to do something, sometimes you meet people who will push you to your passion just right there in your paycheck.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like for me, for example,
Give
I
us an
met
example.
somebody. long story, when I started acting, blah blah blah, and then somebody said, can you write? I was like, I've never written in my life, blah blah blah. But you know what, in the situation I was in,
Give us a preface real quick. What is your passion?
my passion is this, what we're doing right now, creative writing, building, like creativity. And also I have a passion with kids. Like,
Okay.
I could work with children. When Fully Focused said that, I was like, damn it, I'm a nanny now. Either I give back to my own or I am a nanny. Who has children I can babysit? Please, yeah, I know there might be a stampede on that question. But yeah, I'm very passionate about writing and acting and just creative thinking and just being behind the scenes sometimes. Even on your live sets, I get so obsessive. I'm like, no, don't do that. Shh, quiet. You know, I love building something. It's always, it lights a fire in my heart. But yeah, what was I saying, Sunny? Now you threw something.
You were saying something about meeting your passion in your paycheck.
In your paycheck, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm doing this because I'm good at this, and then you meet somebody who's like, oh, I've been seeing you do this acting stuff, and you do it so well. You put all your time in it. Do you think you can write? I was like, what? Yeah, do you think you can write? I was like, well, I could try, but I don't know. And that's how I started writing for TV shows like in Atahidi High and Mother-in-Law. That's how I started, because somebody saw something in me because of how badly I put myself into the acting scene. Like when I'm into it, I'm not even Ida. My character used to be called Olive. I'm Olive. Like,
Yeah.
even if you call Ida Stakumbuka, like, you know, you detach yourself from everything. And people enjoyed that, you know. When I
Right.
started writing, guess what? My scripts became one of the more popular scripts. And I really loved that, you know. It grew me into something that I was never thinking that I could ever be. I got distracted by a comment.
Jami says, Ida Alicia, let's put up a daycare.
Let's do it. Jamie, I'm with you. God, I love children. It's insane.
Okay.
It's crazy.
But my point with what you just said and what I had said earlier is sometimes we get so much noise from everywhere that if you have a career, if you have a 9 to 5, which my full-time job is more like a 7 to 8, but if you have a 9 to 5 or a 7 to 8 like I do, don't half-ass that job just because it's not your passion.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, give it your all. When you clock out, go put 100% somewhere else.
Yeah.
But when you clock in, put 100% there. Because you never know, as long as you put your all into everything you do, you never know what opportunity you will get.
That's true.
Maybe if your passion is acting, I'll use Ida for an example.
Yeah.
If your passion is acting, hell, let me use myself as an example, a DJ.
Yeah.
But let's just say if your passion is acting
Right.
and you're at your job, and let's say your job is at Walmart.
Yeah. I'm
And
gonna
you
show y'all.
just do everything you can at Walmart. A customer is looking for something. How can I help you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking for this. It's on aisle 5. Follow me. I'll take you there.
Yeah.
And you apply yourself thoroughly. Maybe that's a producer looking for something. And they
Yeah.
say, wow, I love your attention to detail.
Yeah.
I'm a producer. Would you be interested in... When you apply yourself 100%,
Yeah.
only good things can happen. But in today's workforce, I manage a ton of people in my 7 to 8 or 9 to 5, as you want to call it. There is such an inadequacy and an inefficiency that because everybody, and I've gone to my employees' social media profiles, they all have a passion. They all have something they really care about, and that's what they put all their energy in. And they half-ass their job. I'm not saying don't put your, like Focus said, don't just quit your job right now. Put a plan in place. But while you're putting that plan in place, don't just go half on anything. If you're going to do anything, if you're going to commit to anything, when you sign a contract with a company, or when you say, okay, I'll work for you at minimum wage, whatever it is you're going to do, if you commit to it, damn it, commit to it.
That's true. I feel you, Sunny.
Yeah.
You remember when I told you guys how I got I did a radio gig here in North Carolina for a minute.
Yeah.
Before I quit and we started our podcast.
And it was, the radio gig came from your 9 to 5.
Yeah, so I was at my workplace and I went here and I did this and I met these people, blah, blah, blah. I was working. And then this guy was like, wait a minute, your voice and how you carry yourself and how you just, did this and this. I have this for you. Can you come here? And that's how I landed my radio gig. But then I was like, I love it, but I can do this at my house and get paid
But
more.
actually-
But something led to me quitting that job because of...
They were not serious about what they were doing.
Yeah.
But you gain
When
skills.
when you're passionate about something, you won't be somewhere people are not fully
Focus.
focused. Fully focused. It's focused, man. Yeah, when you're passionate about something, you won't be somewhere people are just playing with your passion. No. I sat there for a minute. I did the radio gig and I was like, guy, imagine you're either underusing me or I'm not in your level. I'm way up here. You guys are up here, down here. So no. And look what came of that. We had our own podcast.
And now we have our podcast, and the skills you acquired from that
from
radio
that
gig,
job, yeah.
we're able to apply them.
That's so true.
I have a question for you and for our audience.
Okay.
Okay? My question is, especially for immigrants,
Yeah.
all right? For people who moved to a different country, like us who have moved to the US. Say you move here and you're supposed to support your family. You have this plethora of responsibilities.
Yeah.
And you have to choose your paycheck because you have a family relying on you. Yet you have these dreams, you have this passion. Maybe you want to be a pianist. Maybe you want to be whatever you want to be, right?
Yeah.
But then your responsibilities make you not pursue your passion because you have these responsibilities. Are these responsibilities more important than your dream?
No. Well, yes, no.
I want to see some comments on that.
Yeah. Well, Sunny, I'll tell you this, for example. When I moved here, I came to school for creative writing, and I was like ready. I was moving straight to California, and then life was like, hold up. California is like triple the rent I pay here. It was like you need to have, and for me, when I got into this, somebody helped. Oh no, just never mind.
Yeah.
For me, I came to the realization, hey, I have bills to pay. Like Focus said, I have bills to pay. I need to eat, and there's people depending on me back in Kenya. I can't just jump into Hollywood and just wait until I do extras until where? I mean, who's gonna call me now? Cause flips here. But yeah, some of us didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
And right now where I work, I actually really enjoy what I do, and I love it. And it's me. It's in my realm, but it's not acting.
Right.
But still, some of us did not have a choice. We had to work and follow the paycheck as opposed to passion. If I was given a choice, I would obviously go with passion. But look, we're living our passion right here.
Yeah.
With just the extra time. But I mean, we are running out of time. But Sunny, did you want to read a few comments?
I do have a point here. Let's see. Wait, Ida, been wondering where I knew you from. Kumbe mother-in-law. Okay, so people are finally recognizing where you came from.
Chama.
Yep. There was a comment up here by Mimo Koinange.
Go for it.
It's a if you are a Kenyan with a business or an entrepreneur, join this platform as well. We're about supporting Kenyan-owned businesses. What is 254 Business Group trying to achieve in a nutshell? We are launching a forum where we shall identify, promote, and empower Kenyan businesses globally. So that's a comment by Mimo and Koinange. Please take a look at it. She has a few good links in there.
I see a comment by Ken here. It says, the world is your audience. Act in accordance. Well said, Sunny. People think that they can be powerful at their passion and be lazy at their 9 to 5. How you do anything is how you do everything. That energy will carry.
True.
That is so true. I see VG over there asking me. She asked me prior. She said if I wanted to babysit her child. It's like, tell her auntie is waiting, please. Nyawadi. Okay. But she said something. Somebody help me find. That's not it. No, they are not. The people you'll be sacrificing for are probably following their passion. You might work yourself to death for them and end up losing instead. Oh, I guess when you said you have responsibilities and people to take care of, she's like, no, that's not very important. The people you're sacrificing yourself for are already following their passion. That's very debatable. I know there's a point to it, but then some of them are not. You know what I mean? But I hear you. We will have to eventually follow our passions. And I thank you for tuning in.
Right.
Sunny, we need to wrap it up.
We're going to wrap it up with some good music.
Yes.
And earlier today, Ida, we were talking about something.
Yeah.
I want to wrap it up with this last comment. Where, what is keeping people from pursuing what they really want? And we said it was fear.
It was fear.
And you actually, I'm not a religious person.
Oh, I said, I mean, I know you came from a different point, but I also said, like,
Brian Ahenda, support your baba.
Support your baba. Ni mimi anaambia ninyoe nywele.
Brian, are you a barber?
You are telling me to cut my hair? Or he's talking about your hair? You've been supporting your baba?
Yeah, me, I support my barber. I had a haircut. Anyway, so fear.
We talked about a lot, some of the things that stop us from pursuing our passion and just living our best life.
Right.
And one of them, you said, was fear. And you read this book, and I was like, you know what? That book is not even a religious book, but even in the Bible, it says the opposite of fear is faith. And if you have faith in, if you're not religious, sorry, but I'm spiritual. I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. Even in the Bible, it says that the opposite of that would be faith. And if you have faith, if you are very determined to like put behind fear, say, okay, I'm afraid of losing, but screw it. If I lose, I lose. YOLO. Kwani si YOLO. Simini haidama YOLO. So if I lose, I lose. But just having the faith that you may do it and then it may succeed, as opposed to you thinking, if I do it and then I fail, So the opposite of fear is faith. And we decided we're gonna just move in front with faith or whatever.
Let me read this comment real quick, right? By Wesley Osioma. To be frank, what I'm doing is for a paycheck, not passion. Again, the age factor comes in. If one is younger, when you come to the US, I'd advise follow your passion on the side when you're trying to help your people back home. Okay, interesting point.
I see a comment by Jamie Kitanga. Hey, Jamie, thanks for tuning in. Anasema, at a certain point in life, you have to follow your dream. Responsibilities about family will always be there. No one can make your dreams come true, but only you. That is true.
That's true. And
that's a good
going
one.
back to that fear-faith part, I'm going to wrap it up with that. And I've said that 50 times.
I know.
But
it's like when your mother is saying, okay, we are going home, but they're at church and then they meet another friend.
Goodbyes our Kenya would take 20 minutes
like, what is
or
this?
an hour.
I know, but we need to
We need to wrap this thing up, yeah? So I came to this from a book that was recommended to me. You know me and books.
Yeah.
A book that was recommended to me by Ken African. That's called Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, right? And in that book, Napoleon Hill is interviewing the devil. And he asks the devil, what are some of the tools you use to put your agenda into place into humanity? I'm not using the exact words that he used, but that's the message.
Right.
And the devil said his number one tool is fear. And the number one fear is a fear of poverty. And the number two fear is the fear of death.
I know, I mean the number two fear for real.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then there's other fears in there, fear of illness, fear of all these things. So the fear that we feel is keeping us. And maybe your passion is your paycheck. Especially for people in the medical field.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to be passionate about what you do to get into that career.
Yeah.
Unless when you're in Kenya tu ulikuja ukaambiwa to be successful you have to be a CNA.
Debatable.
But
I mean, we were talking to June, and June is our producer and Sunny's girlfriend. Hey, June.
And
hey,
June
baby.
is a full-time nurse.
And she is passionate about what she does. She said, you know what? If I'm being completely honest, my passion is my paycheck. And there are people who are lucky enough to be in that same situation where your passion is your paycheck, So, we're not beating that down. Some people like June are happy where they are. They did this because they chose to do it. That's what makes them happy.
Right.
So there's a balance to it, to everything. But like we said, Sunny, do you think you're done? Do you want us to end this on that? We have some new music, my guy.
Yeah. It's different too.
It's different.
I have a feeling whoever came up with this music was truly passionate about it.
Yes.
Right?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Please pull up the music and I'll read it for you because you can't read the music.
So this music is by an artist called Kanyeki.
Kanyeki. Oh, Kanyeki. Yes, that's the one.
It's Kikuyu gospel.
Yeah.
But it's rock.
It's rock. And Kanyeki's music, the first one you're about to feature is called Digihota Gotareria. Please, see my Kikuyu skills. My mother should be proud. Hi mother, please, you're still watching, aren't you?
So up next, we're going to listen to Kanyeki's
Kanyeki. This man.
Here we go.
Jai
mai dogo na irema ona joe ge derera netse na yoe ke hurutana tanyoni na tono go kogosha dia mai dogo na irema ona joe ge derera netse na yoe ke hurutana tanyoni na tono go kogosha ora gai we otarie ora gai we otarie igota no taredia ora gai we otarie ora gai we otarie oranjera Makio nero shuro akwa amunyoro e retzare akwa na oranjira ore aje ketero hei nero aku ara koera doka makio nero shuro aku tsadonyaro e retzare aku na ara koera are aje ketero hei nero ake rohei nero ake
Somebody said, Alicia translate. He said, I cannot explain how amazing you are, God. He said, the birds are singing your name. It's an amazing song. It's a gospel song. So I had a good time over there.
It's really an interesting fusion because it's rock, it's gospel,
Kikuyu.
and it's Kikuyu.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I mean,
that's amazing.
There's so much good talent. It baffles me how all these genres, all these different... Man. Okay, we have another song by...
What is it called, Sunny?
It's called Murata.
He tried it. It's called Murata. Good job,
Murata.
Sunny.
All right,
Murata means friend. Oh my goodness, his music is amazing. This one is called Murata. Murata means friend. He said, Lord, you're the only one I will sing and, I'll sing to. You're the only one I will worship to. And somebody said, hey. Ankirathe. Muire tu. The artist is called, pull back the artist. The artist's name is Kanyeki, like grass. Kanyeki, like small grass. Kanyeki, Gaimodani. Anyway, it's amazing. Oh my goodness, I'm having such a blast with the songs. If you do, we have one last song from Kanyeki?
We actually have two more.
All right, let's go ahead and play those and just go ahead and follow him, support him. This is what we're talking about, right? Yep. Supporting Kenyan talent, your friends and family. That little like there. Go to his YouTube page. Subscribe. Go to my YouTube page. It's Ida Alicia. Subscribe.
Go to the Sunday Wind Down YouTube page.
Subscribe. Help us get this money.
Go to Fully Focus's page.
Subscribe. Don't forget, it's free for you. It's just a button you hit. It means a lot to us.
Dodoete barangige
amazing. We have to play this music after we are done here because I'm not getting enough. The last song by Kanyaki. We're playing the last song because we can't get over him. Kanyaki, thank you so much for sending us your music. If you do know an artist that you'd like us to feature, ask them to send us their music on Sunday wdpodcast@gmail.com. We're going to feature your music. We're going to rock to your music. We love Kenyan music. We love supporting our own. We're really having a blast over here. So yeah, if you know an artist or you're an artist, send us your music to Sunday WD Podcast. We'd love to feature you.
Oh, another thing about supporting, another way you can support us. If you're a small business owner and you would like us to advertise your product on our podcast, we will go ham. And you can sponsor one of our episodes if you would like, and we will charge you a nominal fee. Talk to us, sundaywdpodcast@gmail.com.
Yes.
Let's support each other.
Yes. Sunny, one last thing. We did not have enough time to take phone calls today, but it's okay. We read all your comments. We love and appreciate you. We see you guys there. We'll try and make more time for you, but I mean, Fully Focused blew our minds. I mean, what more could you ask for?
That took up the whole podcast.
It's true, man. We were so blessed. Me too. I'm like so happy that he poured into my cup, you know, and I hope he poured into your cup as well. I felt very, very encouraged, and thank you again.
My cup was poured into.
What's in my cup stays in my cup. Fully Focused, thank you again. Mwah!
Kabere yaku mwathani ndakwinyihiria muno muno ndagucokeria ngatho ciakwa we ukoretwo wi mwega kuri niĩ nĩndoka mbere yaku mwathani ndakwinyihiria muno muno ndagucokeria ngatho ciakwa we ukoretwo wi mwega kuri niĩ.
And that is the last song we had from Kanyeki. Is that right?
Yeah, Kanyaki, you're good, you're good, fam, you're good.
Okay, Angie had a question. Is it possible to get the titles of the books mentioned today? One of the books that I had mentioned that Fully Focused had posted a year or two ago that is my favorite is by Jim Rohn, R-O-H-N, The Art of Exceptional Living. Mm-hmm. Four Agreements is another book that Fully Focused mentioned. He couldn't remember the author.
He recommended it to Ida. I gotta read that book, y'all.
One of the quotes that I mentioned that said, "There's no interaction that is a neutral interaction. Every interaction either leaves someone better or worse." Mm-hmm, it's from a Dale Carnegie book, "The Power of Winning Friends and Influencing People." Mm-hmm. Then the other book about the interview with the devil is a book by Napoleon Hill. I might be going too fast. Called "Outwitting the Devil."
You know what we're gonna do? We're going to type them down here and pin them. So that way, if Sunny was going too fast, you can still go back and read them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think people are commenting on them as well. So,
good.
And there's so many good books. By the way, if you have any recommendations, post them in the comment section. Let's all help each other because books is how we grow. Books is how we learn.
Yeah.
Get your Audible on. Get your audiobooks on. Get your reading on. And before we shut the podcast down,
it's time to go. But you guys, we have a theme song. Guys, we have a theme song. The Sunday Wind Down podcast has a theme song. I'm so excited.
You've been here from the first minute of today's podcast. We featured an artist a few podcasts back.
Yeah.
Called Ethan Muziki.
And
Ethan Muziki did our theme song.
Yes.
For
obviously
Sunday
like supporting small businesses. You guys, he writes his own music, produces and sings. If you'd like him to, please go check him out on YouTube. It's Ethan Muziki, Muziki, and he's the voice behind our theme song for the Sunday Wind Down podcast.
We hired Ethan Muziki without negotiating.
That's one thing Kenyans do. Give me.
We hired Ethan Muziki to do our theme song for us. And so we have supported Ethan Muziki in our way that we can. You guys support him, support us, support each other. We're going to end today's podcast with our theme song. Here we go.
There we go now.
Sunday wind down. Either with the voice on the speaker, Sunny on the mic, and it's all round. Conversations are bigger, so fill my cup, fill my cup. I'm already tuned in all the way up, all the way up. Can't stop listening now. Sunday wind down. Yes, you know I'm listening. Good vibes in the evening. Yes, you know I'm listening. Sunday wind down. Yes, you know I'm listening. Good vibes in the evening. Yes, you know I'm listening.
Hey, we got our producer on camera today.
I'm okay when I hear your voices. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay when I hear your voices. I'm okay. Working from Monday to Sunday, 7 o'clock till I'm worn out. Hustle, I can make an anthem.
Thank you, Oranjo. Oranjo says dope theme song. Thank you very much. Akinye Aboge, thank you.
All over.
Brian Ahenda, thank you so much.
Grass is only greener when you water. So after the grind I go. Sunday wind down. Yes, you know I'm listening. Good vibes in the evening. Yes, you know I'm listening.